if you came up in college, if you were in college when this joint came out, it was over. It was over. Hold on, let me bring it back. When this part came up in the song, and if everybody was in college, that little boom boom clap, the stadium went crazy. Right here. Right here. Hold on. Welcome to the Marathon. I can't even get it out. I'm too high. That joke was fire. Welcome to another episode of the Mad Lucrative Podcast. I am your host, the one and only Magneto 7 in the building. I'm here. This is episode 200. He did it. We're here. Yo, how many episodes count as like a full season? Because based off of Netflix and all of the other platforms, one season is like 15 episodes. I'm at 200. This is like a Cheers episode at this point. I'm like, what are we doing? But this episode is brought to you by Jay's Deli. If you need some halal sandwiches, some wings, some fries, somewhere nice where you ain't gonna get shot because it's not the hood. If you want some good wings and you right here in Georgia, make sure you go over to Jay's Deli. Tell them Magneto 7 sent you from the Mad Look at the Podcast, How about it? Let's go to the chat right quick. I got some energy this morning, big dog. Let's see who we got on IG. Oh, okay, we got Mr. Dukes on IG. What up? Johan, what up? All my H's and Y's are gonna sound like that today. Eh? All of my H's and Y's are gonna sound like that. What up, big TJ? What up? Nancy, what's going on? Hold up. I'm jealous. Nuns has been out of the country. She's been doing hot girl summer. Well, she ain't not really hot girl summer. She's safe. She's real safe. Fellas, if y'all need y'all a woman, that love God, like to go on trips, likes to paint, likes to do nice things, go and holler at Nuns Art. Nunsy Art. Nuns like, don't send no bums over here to me. Don't send them to me. I don't want them. But anyway, welcome to another episode of the Mad Look at the Podcast. I'm gonna have some fun today. What's my weekend wrap up? How did we do last week? I told y'all week before last, I almost died. That was pretty fun. I almost died. Jesus about to bring me back to glory. He about to brought me back to glory. I almost died. I stepped into traffic. Not on purpose. Well, kind of on purpose. I was not listening to my wife. Fellas, if you have a wife, if you found that good thing, get preachy. If you found that good thing that's a wife, listen to her sometimes. Most of the time? Sometimes. I'm going to say, just listen. Okay, I'm not going to get in trouble. My mama be watching this podcast. My wife be watching this podcast on the sneak. So this is a little trick. If y'all are wanting to start a podcast and y'all want to talk about somebody in y'all family, make sure you put it like, if you do an hour podcast, put that like in the last 15 minutes. They won't make it. They will not make it that far. But anyway, what's going on? Big drummer swag in the building. What up? And if I miss anybody in any other chats, I'm sorry. I got different screens up, and I'm just trying to make sure we get through the show. We got to get through the show because I'm actually still at work. I'm on call right now. All of my fellas that take call, y'all know what time it is. But anyway, if you're in Georgia or if you're in the southeastern region, we all saw the big old ball of fire in the sky. We saw it, and I was like, Lord, I don't want to die. Not yet. I know it looked like I was trying to last weekend, but I don't want to die just yet. What do we all think about this big ball of fire? Everybody in LA, y'all probably been seeing these balls of fire for a while. Double entendre. Stop clapping. They've been seeing big balls of fire for a minute. Well, anyway, we're going to just get started with the show, man. We're going to get started. I'm not going to do this today. Every time I do my impromptu in the beginning of the pod, I be getting flagged. It messes me up all the time. I'm just saying, we just saw the big ball of fire in the sky in Georgia. And I honestly was like, yo, I don't want to die. Like, not yet. I still want to make a few trips. So, yeah. LA has been seeing balls of fire. Atlanta has been seeing balls of fire for a while, and that's all I'm gonna say. Let's get to the show. Mizzy Man's in the building. Yes, I am. I am. So everybody has seen. Hold up. Let's start with this because I might have to actually do what do you call it? Where you erase the sound for this particular segment. But this is one little wrap up. I've had some time since my daughters have been gone. Me and my wife have had a lot of fun. Hmm? A lot of fun. We've had a lot of no. So this, all right. This is one thing I will say. Um, you don't realize how much you kind of neglect certain spaces in your life until you have another space that's empty, and then you got time to pay attention to another space, right? All right, case in point, follow me for a minute. We have a daughter that's on the spectrum, right? Our oldest daughter is on the spectrum, so all of our time and energy goes into making sure she good. And we got two daughters. We got two daughters. Our youngest daughter just be like, "Bruh, you wildin', like chill out." Bro, dad, like, yo, can you get her? Can you get her? That's what our youngest be doing. But since they've both been gone, me and my wife have had so much good time to connect. And I was like, yo, I feel like, oh my God, I really married my best friend. That's what the women be doing. I really married my best friend, and oh my God. Y'all so dramatic. Y'all be mad dramatic. But no, honestly, it feels good. It's felt good to be able to connect and have more conversations outside of family, outside of just the responsibility of being a dad. Outside of the responsibility side, we've had a lot of good time. We've been out. We pretty much went out to eat every day. We just been like, oh, I ain't gonna cook. You gonna cook? I don't wanna cook. We ain't gonna cook. We gonna just chill. We gonna vibe. So it's been cool, but they coming back. They about to be right back, and I miss my babies, but y'all know what time it is. Y'all know what time it is. You know what time it is. I don't listen. You know what time it is. All right. So speaking of knowing what time it is, obviously B Simone does not know what time it is, in these streets because she has been caught red-handed over and over and over and over and over, talking about how she does not want a 9 to 5 man. A 9 to 5 man is not good enough. He need to be an entrepreneur. I said, girl, do you know how much eggs cost? I don't care. I don't care. He need to be an entrepreneur. I'm like, okay. Hey, hey. You like to go shopping at Bloomingdale's. Okay. But let me bring this clip up right quick. And I'm only responding to this because y'all sent it to me, and I'm clearly you just wanted me to respond to it. Y'all wanted my point of view, my POV. We listen, POV was something else when I was growing up. I was like, oh, we gotta watch me a POV. That's not what POV is now. It's just a point of view. So y'all want to hear my point of view on the B Simone clip? I'm gonna pull it up. I've seen other ones that I was gonna compile together, but I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that. And do I need to pull the clip up? I could just play the audio because I want to really get to this Diddy case. Diddy has been doing a lot. He's been doing a lot for a long time, and I'm like, okay, okay. So listen, this is
Just my finances.
hold up. All right, I'm gonna pull it up. Here we go. And I like B Simone, and honestly, y'all probably won't think the way I think as it relates to her because I feel like, well, I'll let you know how I feel in a minute. I'll let you know how I feel in a minute. Let's pull a video up. B Simone is pretty, ain't she? She a little vibe. She's a little vibe. She's a vibe. She's a vibe. All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
Finances. Like the budgeting, you see how I am nitpicking every little thing.
Never
I've
like that.
never been like that. We were in Bloomingdale's yesterday. I'm like, we have to go to H&M.
Yeah. You do.
Like I notice it in me now, just nitpicking. And it's not even, I just don't have it like to spend the
Yeah.
liquid.
Yeah.
I'm used to having liquid. I'm used to seeing a certain amount in my account.
But
All
you're
right, pause. Wait. Um. I promise you, ladies, don't get on me. Don't come for me. I won't come for you. Don't start snatching the air. Don't do that. Don't do that. But all right, hear me out for 1 second. When it comes to B Simone, and I'm gonna play the rest of the clip. I don't think there's that much more left. But we've seen her in the media over and over. Like I said, when I first started this, I've heard her talk about how she don't want a 9 to 5 man. When I think of a 9 to 5 guy, I think of a guy that has stability, safety, has some type of discipline because you gotta be somewhat disciplined to get up to go to a job every day, right? The issue with a lot of entrepreneurs that I've coached are some of the entrepreneurs that I just come across on a consistent basis. Everybody thinks that their time is their time. All of the newer entrepreneurs, they think that all of the things that they're doing, it provides the freedom. I got as much freedom as possible. Okay, you got freedom until that bill is due and you ain't got somebody paying your account. You got this person over here that owe you 1,000. You got this person over here that owe you 1,000. You got this person over here that owe you 2,000, and all of them supposed to pay by Friday. And you got a bill that was due on Thursday. How about it? But guess what? To each his own. Let me let her finish.
It's just my
Oh
finance.
no, we're not gonna start over.
It's
Okay.
just my finances.
All right. Anyway, so shouts out to B Simone. Now on the flip side, this is how I think. On the flip side, I do agree with B Simone. I agree with her. You do have to have the liquid. She said, the liquid. It's that liquid. I need the liquid. I'm not gonna do it. Don't do it today. Don't you do it. But B Simone said, I need the liquid. It has to be the liquid. I said, girl, you need to get you a job. You need to, and this is the thing. This is what I don't like about the main issue that I have with a lot of the content creators. Although they work super hard to get to where they want to be, right? Everybody works hard to get to where they want to be. You make a decision to do work instead of watch TV, or you make the decision to go to this mixer instead of chilling and just vibing out with whoever, right? You're making certain decisions to set yourself up for the future. But that does not erase the option, or that does not say that everything from here on out is going to be gravy. So, my main issue is with a lot of the newer entrepreneurs, y'all, again, that was the first thing. Y'all think that y'all's time is y'all's time. Go do your customer wrong and see what happens. See, want all of your time be their time. Say you were supposed to deliver. We're gonna take it to t-shirt world, right? Let's say you got a company and you make t-shirts for other companies, or you make t-shirts for influencers, or you make t-shirts for whoever, because you saw somebody online say, all you gotta do is make sure you get the press machine. You get the press machine, and you go ahead and press your t-shirt shop, and you do it. Okay, cool. You can make some money, but what happens if you get a order of 100? Or what happens if somebody say, "Look, I want to. Can you do 1,000 t-shirts for me? I'll pay you, but can you do 1,000 t-shirts for me because I got this event coming up and I need all of my staff to have certain t-shirts. Can you do that for me?" And you opt in to do it. See, want all your time be their time. See, want all your time be their time, and that's how I be looking at entrepreneurs. Like, yo, y'all don't. I feel like every entrepreneur should have a good job first. It should start with a good job, and it should start with you getting the discipline to show up to do something every day. Also, having a job, and this is for B Simone and all of the followers of B Simone, because I saw all of y'all in the comments. Girl, I know what you saying, girl. It's hard right now for everybody. I it's always going to be hard for a certain group of people. You always have to have a nest egg. You always have to have a certain amount of liquid stashed away. That's just how that works. Because this is take me for instance. Take me for instance. And I talked about this for the past couple of months. From April up until last month, I have literally replaced every appliance in my house. Every appliance. When I say every, I'm talking about the refrigerator. I'm talking about the oven. I'm talking about the dishwasher. I'm talking about the what do you call it? The dryer, the washer and dryer. I have replaced all of this stuff, and I still I got to replace my AC unit. There's like 15 bands, right? Guess what? Had I not had a certain stash, I would be just screwed. I would be super screwed. I wouldn't have no other options. So with B Simone, I agree. You should want what you want. The heart what wants what the heart wants. All right, cool. But there are trade offs. There are what okay. There are trade offs. When you are an entrepreneur, your time is your customer's time. When you're a content creator, your time is your followers' time. Especially if you start making money off of it. Like this is not just be Simone. I salute you. You want what you want, get what you want, girl. I stand for black women. That's how you always get out of it. I stand for black women. Yeah, yeah. All right. We got P Simone out the way. Whew, that was tough. Whew, that was tough. Reggie, I don't know. I don't want nobody knocking on my door but the bank. Like, hey, you want a bag? Yeah, I want that bag. All right, so next up we got Puff. This is the last week. This is the last week of deliberation. I think that's what it's called. This is the last week. So we've been keeping up with the Puff trial from day one. Now, I will say I don't think I've gone from thinking that he's going to get completely off of this case to now I think he's going to do some time, or they're going to give him time served plus like community service. That's what I'm thinking is going to end up. Because what I've been saying, and I'm going to pull the clip up, but what I've been saying the whole time, they have not proved anything except DV, domestic violence. That's the only thing that they've proven so far. All of the other stuff is has been real fuzzy because it's like, okay, how much consent went into you going to participate in one of these freak offs or one of these Kings nights out? What was like and this is what I'm saying. We just who did we just interviewed a guy named King. I can't remember if it was the last name or something, but we interviewed a guy named King that's in like the pineapple party. Like he loves to, he gets his rocks off. He don't just be with his wife. He be with other people too, right? Uh, and he was telling us everything was based around contracts and consent. Contracts and consent. So for me, if there was a contract and there was consent that went into a lot of this puffy activity, guess what? Guess what? He gonna get off. He gonna get off. He gonna get off. Now, should I have cued in a clap? Maybe not. I like Puff. I ain't going for it. I like Puff for what he's done. Some of it in the music business, but let's pull this clip up. Let's pull this clip up. I don't know that he's gonna get off, and I haven't kept up with the other news platforms. Um, so let's see. Let's see what he got. Let's see what he got.
Closing arguments in Sean Diddy Combs' sex trafficking and racketeering trial wrapped up in New York City court today. It was the defense's turn after the prosecution delivered their arguments Thursday. Combs' lawyers called his prosecution a fake trial and accused the government of badly exaggerating evidence of his so-called swinger lifestyle.
See?
Combs has pleaded not guilty to 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts of sex trafficking, and 2 counts of transportation to engage in prostitution. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman
Hold on.
is
Let me
in the
go through that.
courtroom
Let me go
today.
through that real
She
quick.
joins us.
Let me go through that right quick. How many counts is
Not
that?
guilty to 1 count of racketeering conspiracy, 2 counts
1 count of racketeering, so that's the RICO.
of sex trafficking, and
Sex
2 counts
trafficking.
of transportation to engage in prostitution. CBS News legal reporter Katrina.
See, even with that, okay, all right, hear me out. This is how I'm looking at all of this stuff as it relates to the trafficking, right? The trafficking paying for box, international travels, domestic travels. This is how I'm looking at all of this stuff. If you have a text message thread, right? If you have a text message thread of your interaction, I'm talking about him or one of his workers or whoever. If you got a text message thread of you and the Jane Does going back and forth saying, yeah, I can't wait to come out here and get it in. Or yeah, boy, oh, I heard y'all get freaky over there, right? I heard through the grapevine, y'all really know how to party. Wink with the what's the nasty face? What is is the demon one the nasty face? Is that one or the tongue out emoji? But let's say that there are plenty of threads of him and them going back and forth, and that's the exchange. They probably have even had some exchange on how much money it's going to cost for them to get out there. To me, that's a form of consent. Now, if something changed when they got out there and they said, "All right, y'all going a little bit too crazy. Y'all doing a little bit way too much." Okay, cool. Now we got a little bit more grounds to stand on, but still, even in that, the setup for all of this, they opted in to be flown out to get the box tore up. I don't like how that sounds. They opted in to get their box played with. I'll say that. I don't like how that sound either. They flew out to do whatever they wanted to do, huh? How about that? So, this is sticky. It's sticky.
Hoffman was in the courtroom today. She joins us now. All right, Katrina, let's start with the latest. So what did we hear from the defense today?
Hold up. Reg says that transportation is what's going to get them. Trafficking is trafficking with consent or not. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So look, no, but hear me out. Hear me out. I hear what you just said, Reg. Hear me out. I'm thinking like this. All right, so say they go out there, it was consent, it's trafficking. Do the person that went out there at their own to on their own, they went out because I'm assuming they went to Vegas because I think in Vegas it's legal. Is that person gonna get in trouble too? Or how does that work? Is it just Puff or is it him and them? Put me on, cause I don't know how that legal system works. Would it be him and them that gets in trouble? Cause yo, you stay in Texas. He flew you out to Vegas to go in for a King's Night Out. All right, now since you flew from Texas to Vegas, both of y'all in trouble. Both of y'all in trouble. So she should have consented 100 times. Ah, okay, I got you. I got you.
The defense essentially said, as you mentioned, that this is a fake trial, that the evidence that was presented before this jury does not prove the government's charges. And they also worked to undermine these witnesses, to paint them as liars, each of these women who took the stand. There's also something else that stood out to me was some of the language that they were using in this argument. Fake trial. They claim that Sean Combs has been targeted by the government. And it really reminded me of when I was covering now President Trump's trial. It's just, I don't know if this is some kind of appeal for the pardon he may be asking for, but that language really struck me, as did the fact that the prosecution later.
I'm sorry. Aside of me, because I think they were saying Puff was staring at some of the jurors. Y'all remember that clip from Puff and what was that? American Idol or America's Got Talent when Puff was going back and forth with that dude. They would look like this, and that dude was looking like this, and it was like this. It was like how many of y'all think Puff was doing that with them, all them jurors? And then this is another one. Maybe this conspiracy theory. I will dig into the conspiracy theory bag, put my tinfoil hat on. How many of them jurors, if he does get off, this is a if, this is a big if. If he does get off, how many of them people do you think got $100,000? How many of them people you think he paid off? How many of the jurors do you think he paid? If this is just a big if, just an if. What do y'all think? What do y'all
pointed
think?
out that, like Trump, Combs is someone who once thought that he was above the law, at the head of this company, a powerful celebrity. But some of the key points that the defense worked to make, Kelly, are that just these were consensual acts. These
See?
are personal relationships, that there was no conspiracy here at the company. If anything, as one of the assistants said, these personal errands they would run for Combs that were related to the hotel nights were one.
So this is another thing that I want to say. I want to bring this part out too. At my time, I'm not gonna say the name of the label, but my time of me going back and forth to New York and back and forth to a few other places. That's all I'm gonna say. There was always a runner to get the stuff for the people that who was in the studio working. If you were in I want to say names of studios, can't do that. But if you was in certain studios in New York or certain studios in Miami or certain studios in LA, right? There was a person that would go get you whatever you wanted to do. Whatever you wanted, whether that was liquor, whether it was drugs, whatever, women, whatever. There was a person that was designated to get that stuff on behalf of the label. Hear me out. Hear me out. They that was their job to get the stuff on behalf of the label, bring it back to the studio, give it to you. Right? What happens to all of these other people? Is it gonna be, are we opening up Pandora's box since Puff has been the one to take the hit right now? Are we opening up all Pandora's boxes? Because all Pandora's boxes have a lot of people. And if we talk racketeering in that sense, it makes perfect sense. Makes perfect sense. But
percent of the work. And that conspiracy aspect is really important for the racketeering charge, Kelly.
so if they bring conspiracy into court, can conspiracy play into the verdict of the case? Y'all let me know this, because I'm not a lawyer. I'm not none of that. If somebody brings conspiracy into a case, can that be a part of the deciding factor if somebody gets off or on? What, like, how does that work? How
And
does
I'm
that work?
curious, how did the prosecution respond to that in their rebuttal?
So, I mean, they refuted a number of things. In fact, they said that there was a litany of errors in the case that the defense presented. And just to add, actually, it really resonated with Combs's supporters. I was in the overflow for a little bit, and at the end of it, Kelly, they were all clapping and just very much on board. He even got Combs's lead defense attorney, Mark Agnifilo, some of the jurors to smile. He's a very charismatic person, but the prosecution came back with an extremely strong rebuttal. For example, when it comes to this allegation that women came and lied on the stand in their testimony against Sean Combs, Maureen Comey, who's the lead prosecutor, pointed out that these women just don't have a motivation to lie. Cassie Ventura, Sean Combs' ex-girlfriend, has already gotten $30 million, $20 million in a settlement with Sean Combs, $10 million from the Intercontinental Hotel, where there's a video that captured Combs assaulting her.
Honestly, if you ask me, I think all of this, if it wasn't for Cassie going in and suing and then and opening up more stuff, like more not stuff, but opening up more questions, I don't think none of this would have happened. But I think since she did that, and I applaud her, honestly. Get your bag, girl. Get your bag. Especially if you've been with Buddy for how long was Cassie with Puff? Cassie was with Puff at least 13 years, or at least 11 or 10 years. She was with him for a minute. So if you've done all of this stuff and you've taken this type of abuse, and there's been case after case after case, get your money. Especially if he's worth $1 billion, get your 30. I don't, like, please do that. But for me, it's the bigger issue is if he does get off, who's next in line? Because I don't see any woman that's going to turn him down at this point. Honestly, I don't see. Puff has always been charismatic. He's always been looked at as a boss. He's always had just the shine, like the look, right? And especially since I see a lot of the younger girls say, "Well, I want a soft guy. I want a guy that can identify with my softness." All right, cool. All right, cool. If you got him, you get kind of the best of both worlds. So I don't see any woman that's going to turn him down. What is the actual? What is going to be the reformation for him changing his actions? Because what I foresee in the near future, if he does get off, what I foresee is they're going to have even more paperwork. Because even with this, I'm looking at it like this from a brand standpoint. Because y'all know I love brands. I love talking about marketing. I love commercials. I don't see any company turning down a Puff on discount. I don't see no company turning down a Diddy commercial on discount. I'll tell you what I mean. If Puff, before Puff went to jail and all of this stuff started to hit the fan, if he before he went to jail, if he was getting, let's say he was getting $5 million for an ad, right? And let's say that ad may have been Sprite, or the ad could be Coca-Cola or whatever, right? Let's say he would get $5 million for the ad. Let's say he gets off and they give him like community service. Give it about a year or two. If he goes to Coca-Cola or Sprite and say, "Look, I'm just trying to get back in. I got to get, come on, Playboy. Come on, Playboy. I got to keep it going, Playboy. What's good?" They're going to give him the million. If he used to charge $5 million, they're going to give him the $1 million, and he is going to do that ad, and everybody's going to forget the fact that all of this case, all of that's going to go away. So all I foresee in the near future with this Puff situation is more paperwork, more NDAs, more legal consulting, and a smaller group of women that's going to opt into whatever he likes to do on his freaky time. That's what I foresee. I don't think that I think he's going to get off.
And so she has no reason to
say?
get on the stand in a
But the
federal
billion is
trial
liquid.
and commit perjury. And then with Mia, a former employee of Sean.
Reggie, you see, Puff's billion is liquid. It's liquid. It's not an assets. It's liquid. I need a liquid.
Combs. They pointed
B.
out
Simone, I love you. I love you. You did this to you, though. You did this to you, but I love you. I love you.
Sean Combs' team accused her of acting. And they said she really took a lot of courage to get on that stand. And just to describe what she was like, she just seemed so beaten down when she was testifying about these experiences she had, Kelly. Her voice would get very quiet. She could never look up when she talked about these instances of violence and sexual assault. And the
Oh,
prosecutor
Jesus.
said, you know, there's no Oscar or Tony for acting in this courtroom. And it took a lot of
The defender said there's no Oscars or Tonys for the acting that you're doing in this courtroom. Oh, that's petty. That's
courage for
petty.
these women to come forward with these allegations against Sean Combs, a very powerful person.
I love the
Okay,
flavor
okay.
that
This is one last thing too. One last thing, and I got to get to the next subject because I got somewhere to go. I got somewhere. If you wanna be somebody and you wanna go somewhere, y'all sing. You better wake up and pay attention. I got somewhere to be. Um, what is the benefits of having $1 billion? I'm just curious. I'm curious. If y'all can answer that for me in the chat. What are the benefits of having a million? No, not a million, a billion. What are the benefits of having $1 billion? If y'all can answer that for me in the chat, this would be such a so much easier podcast. Because when I think of a billion, if I got $1 billion, right? Some of the access to certain things, certain products, just exists on this level. That's how I'm gonna look at it. If I got a billion, where I used to look at the nice little, let's say I used to look at the $2 million house, and I really love that 2 million. That $2 million house is fire. Oh my God! You got land. You got. That's how I think right now, right? I think like that on this level. If you got 2 million, I'm gonna spend about 800,000 on this, right? Cool. But if you got a billion, you got 1 billion. You're looking at buying like countries. You're looking at buying like a whole area. Like, look, I just want to buy all of Stone Mountain. I'm gonna etch my name. Y'all been complaining about the Confederate people? Nah, it's cool. I'm gonna just buy the whole Stone Mountain, the whole area. I'm gonna just buy it, and I'm just etch. We made it. $1 billion. So I can only imagine. I can only imagine the access that he has to certain money and certain groups of people on this level. And honestly, something else. This is scary. This is actually it's scary because I could easily see how he could coerce, like Reggie said, access to presidential candidates. Like there is a lot of options that you have on the $1 billion level. That it gets different. It's different up there. It's different up there. So for me, it's like how do you dial back what's supposed to be normal? What's supposed to be normal, humane activity? How do you dial that back when you get to the $1 billion level? That's a big question.
you
That's a big
provide. I
question.
mean, that's the value of having you there every step of this way, because these are the important moments that are going to impact the jury, which to that point, you have watched this from beginning to end. The jury is going to get this case shortly. What do you think could be the biggest sticking points for them when it comes to a decision?
I think one of the biggest things has always been this racketeering conspiracy charge and whether
Yep.
there is some form of agreement between Combs and the people who worked for him to commit these alleged underlying predicate acts. Now, what the prosecution says, though, Kelly, is there really just has to be Combs and one other person. There's someone who's been named as a key co-conspirator. It's his former chief of staff, Christina Coram, and we have seen a lot of messages where she seems very clearly aware of a lot of the things that were going on. But I do think for the jury, they may have to decide if they feel like there was a willful and knowing agreement there. I think this case has also been a really interesting study in the complexity of human relationships and relationship dynamics. So,
Yep.
it's very complicated whether a lot of these acts were consensual. These women stayed with him. So maybe the jury's understanding, too, of abusive dynamics and how those can play into these incidents. But again, Kelly, the prosecution says that of all these freak-offs and hotel nights, the jury just has to decide that one for each woman happened through force, fraud, or coercion. So even if all the others were consensual, they just have to think that one will find him guilty.
Well, it's going to be a very interesting next week. I know you're going to be following it. Katrina Kaufman, thank you.
All right.
You can
That
sell
was good.
this
That was
$5
good. So for to wrap this whole segment up, what do y'all think is gonna happen with Puff? Do y'all think Puff is gonna get off? Do y'all think that um, he's going to serve more time in addition to the time that he's already served? Because I'm sure they're counting him being in prison right now. I'm sure they're counting that as time. So what do y'all think is gonna happen? Y'all tell me what y'all think is gonna happen. We're gonna go to the next clip. Let's go to the next one. So I've been talking about AI technology for a minute, and y'all know me. I love the idea of forward movement. And this is while I pull the other clip up, I'm gonna let y'all know how I'm thinking. When it comes to music business, I don't trust it. When it comes to thinking that somebody's gonna willfully do right in business, I just don't trust it. I second guess everything. I'm always, I don't know if that's a flaw. It works for me. But for with caution, but I'm always doing more research and studying what's what. Like I just saw a clip probably about maybe a week or so ago where it was a billionaire that said, "Look, I look to learn from everybody. I don't care if it's a bum or if it's somebody that's younger than me or if it's another billionaire that might have more than me or whatever. I look to learn from everybody because everybody has something to teach." That's how I am, right? I'm always looking to see how did you get there? Like, why did you get there? How did you land right there? And what could you have done to change the course of your life? For me, changing the course of life, I wish I would have opted into what I'm doing right now with the podcast and all this stuff. I wish I would have opted in and started getting my reps in the gym faster than the last 5 years, right? Because granted, I'm happy we just touched 200 episodes. I'm gonna give myself a clap for that too. But even though I'm just now touching 200 episodes, I could have touched 200 episodes a few years ago and been up to the thousands by now. And for me, this is how I look at content. I believe that everything that I do on a consistent basis will pay off at some point. Now, the some point could be next week. The some point could be next year. The some point could be the next 5 years. I don't know that part. That's on God. What I can do though, what I can do is come up with a plan, have some type of projection on where I want to go, have some projection for my family, for the business, for my personal health, for all this stuff. I can project and plan based on those projections and have some real strategies involved. But at the end of the day, you don't control it, right? You don't control it. So going back to what we're about to pull up with the AI technology, I'm seeing a lot of people. The first part of this, we were talking about Timbaland and how Timbaland stole K Fresh's beat. The first part was Timbaland and the AI artist. Now watch this. Watch this. And this is the coldest part that everybody is not looking at. Everybody's just overlooking this part. When we think of an AI or a producer using AI, who is the first producer we think of at this point? And at this point in time, who is the first person, the first producer that we think of when you mention AI technology? Timbaland. Timbaland. I wouldn't be surprised if he actually did go back and right the wrongs and told K Fresh, yo, come to Miami. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna turn you up or whatever, right? Or go in with some different writers and say, look, I want y'all to come and familiar yourself with my AI artist. Just write a few bars and I want y'all to collaborate on a song. I would not be surprised if Timbaland has been the spearhead for all of this stuff right now, behind the scenes and in front of the camera. All of us talking about what he's doing is doing what? Giving him more press. I'm giving him 30,000 people to listen to. I'm talking about I'm sharing my grievances about Timbaland with my 30,000 followers or my 40,000 followers on IG or my 7,000 followers on TikTok. I'm literally We are all providing a free platform for him to be the spokesperson for production and AI technology. Free press. Y'all ain't even get it. And this is what I've been looking at the whole time. Like, okay, who else is in this space that we're not talking about that's just out here running and wreaking havoc? We talked about UMG a little bit, but we haven't dug in. I'm not gonna do any more deep dives either. This as of episode 200. When it comes to YouTube, I'm no longer doing deep dives on music business and career based stuff because guess what? Y'all don't be watching those episodes anyway. Y'all want to see me talk about B Simone. And y'all want me to call her a brokey. I'm not gonna call her a brokey. I admire what she's doing. Get your bag, young girl. Get your bag. I, yo, do your thing. But when it comes to the stuff that we should be paying attention to, y'all overlooking it. Y'all overlooking it. So I found this clip. This is a podcast that give me 1 second. This is a podcast that I saw, and I was like, ooh, they are spitting some hot fire knowledge. Um, and this is more of the same based around AI technology and how it's going to disturb the music business, right? Even with music business, I love how SAG-AFTRA in LA was going back and forth and picketing and talking about how they did not want AI to destroy the actors guild and whatever they were able to make, and they petitioned against it. I said, all right, this is beautiful what y'all are doing. Y'all are united. Y'all are all standing together, but it's still happening. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. I'm gonna tell you how. I know. We've all saw iRobot, right? Yeah, I think we saw iRobot. And this is funny because all of the stuff that we see, they throw it in the movies just a little bit, a little sauce. We're gonna throw a little bit in the movie so y'all, when we do introduce this, y'all not caught off guard because y'all kind of had an idea that this was coming. Mass Singer, same thing. All of it is a setup to eliminate the artist. It's all set up, right? So this guy, oh yeah. Let me go back. Let me backtrack a little bit. What I was saying is, I don't want to be one of the people that miss out on the change. When the change comes, I was using the podcast for an example. I was saying, yo, I could have been at 800 episodes. I'm just at 200 now, right? That is exactly how the internet treated music business and how the internet treated content and how the internet treats all of the people that creates music, right? All of us are one of the we would like to consider ourselves, and I'm speaking for myself too. We would like to consider ourselves the weird kids, right? The weird kids that just come up with dope ideas, and we just come up with things, and we're so creative. We've got all this creative energy going back and forth, right? Right, cool. But Reggie said Black Mirror, exactly. Black Mirror too. We would like to consider ourselves that, right? As creative people, especially if this is what you've done your whole life. But there's a whole nother group of people that just looks at you as a commodity. There's a whole group of people that looks at creative people as just commodities. I.e., I could just buy some socks. You go to the store, you want to go to, you just buy some socks, right? They look at musicians and creative people like that. That's why I started this platform so I could teach y'all. Yo, they've been looking at us like this. So if they gonna look at us like this is how you could get you a bag. You go get you a bag like this. You do a little bit of real estate. You get your contractor's license. It's funny how it's 1,000 people talking about how electricians and plumbers are needed in today's time. I've been talking about this for years. I've literally been talking about this for years. But everybody said, oh, it's 100,000 shortages of plumbers and electricians. I've been telling y'all that. That's why I do all of the stuff that I do for this reason. I'm not going to dig into the brokey category. I've been there. I can't do it. I cannot go back there. All right. So knowing that the hedge fund people, the capital investors, everybody in these spaces, being that they look at us as commodities, you have to understand the systems that are getting set up for their system to work. or you have to realize the systems that's getting set up for their businesses to operate. Universal Music Group is what? I don't have a class in here. Universal Music Group is a content hub. Sony is a content hub. The Fox network is a content hub. What do we do on TikTok and IG and Facebook and YouTube? What do we do on all of these platforms, class? We create content. So what makes you think that all of these people that look at you as a commodity are not trying to figure out how to use the gift? We call it gifts. They call it commodities. How do you feel? How you figure they're not trying to figure out ways to get your commodity or your skill or your content for free? It's one particular Black Mirror episode, and I think I talked about this before, but it was mirroring the lady's life back to back, back to back, back to back. When she went to the lawyer said, "Well, you signed the paperwork." The girl said, "I didn't sign no paperwork." He said, "Yes, you did sign the paperwork. You remember when you opened your app up on your phone, and we gave you all of these things to agree to, all the terms of agreement. That was a 32-page agreement that you signed off on. We can do what we want to do with your content, your life skill content. So we talking about the cameras on the phone. We talking about all the conversations that we have with people on our phone. We talking about the stuff that we look at on our laptops. All of this stuff is used to either market or to do something else with it. Repurpose your content in the back end. So, knowing that all of that stuff is coming up, I would like to try to get ahead of it by opt into certain parts of it, because you got to use it to leverage yourself. But the other parts of it is just like, yo, you just got to know it exists. So this is a Rico Beto, or Beto. He's talking about how AI is going to interrupt the music business. We already know, and I just want to make sure that everybody is kind of informed. And after this, we're going to start wrapping it up, because I got someone. If you want to be somebody and you want to go somewhere. All right, here we go. Let's see what he's talking about.
Hearing me talk about AI and how advanced some of these things are getting. I mean, listen, actually AI. But a couple weeks ago, somebody sent me a song that I heard that is actually AI. Check it out.
Now, this is the thing. I'm going to let it play. But this is something that I want everybody to understand. When a company is looking at us as commodities, they are trying to figure out the cheapest way to get the thing that they need. A lot of the stuff that the bigger companies need, when you talk about Universal, one of the main things is contents based around video, or content based around music or albums, or some type of content, right? So, knowing that that's what this is, AI is going to be used in that context. That's one of them that I'm looking at. And also thinking that this is something that bugged me out, right? I have been doing a lot of research on AI generated commercials and AI generated ads for all of the businesses that we're either managing or we're helping work with. And it's crazy that we're to the point right now where you can audition a AI and type a script out for the AI to read, and that script that they read can be anything that you want it to be. The AI, like the visual, like the actual person that shows up on the screen, can be a white person, can be a black person, can be somebody old, it can be somebody with an accent, somebody without an accent. And then watch this. And I ain't gonna tell y'all the name of the app. If they end up sponsoring the podcast, then I'll tell you about it. But they can now, since we have all of this information, they can parallel all of the campaigns and all of the ads that you set up for your business. Case in point, right? Right now, this week, I think I started running it maybe Wednesday. I think I started running Wednesday. So I started running an ad for all of my No More Poverty Music t-shirts, right? I have a whole thing called No More Poverty Music. Take your oath. If you want to opt in to making quality content, get your No More Poverty Music t-shirt. Poverty music takes away from a community instead of adding to a community. I have a whole spiel that's centered around poverty music. All right, cool. Got that. I started to type prompts into this particular app, and the app asks me, okay, what type of avatar would you like for this ad to be centered around? First one I chose a black dude. Second one I chose a redhead white girl. The third one I chose a older Indian man. Right? Type different prompts for all of these different avatars. Every avatar had the opportunity. They auditioned what I wanted it to say. You can change the inflection of their voice. You can change the pitch of their voice. All of this stuff can be automated. Case in point, back when I first started doing No More Poverty Music t-shirts, I'm gonna tell you what the hardest thing was for me to find. It was hard for me to find a model that can model the t-shirt, that I didn't have to arrange their schedules. I had to have them come to my studio, do a sit down. We had to negotiate how much I'm gonna pay them. They got to negotiate this part, and guess what? With AI, it's done. It's done. So what I foresee in the near future, all of the artists, if they're not already on this, I suggest you start getting started. You know what? We're not talking about that. I said I was not going to give out all of the sauce. If y'all want the real sauce, make sure you follow the Patreon, Mad Lucrative Network on Patreon. I ain't giving the sauce out for free. Not on YouTube. No. Let's get back to him.
Carolina, 5'5", bright blue hair,
Harmonies.
big brown eyes, sleep beneath the neon signs.
Southern accent.
To street town tonight. We don't need to talk things through, or you can cry the whole way.
And guess what? All of the corporate people are gonna look at this stuff like, yo, I don't have to deal with people. I don't have to do nothing but just type a prompt out, and we got all of the music. And this is what I foresee. All of the business owners, what they're gonna say is, yo, how much does this cost again? Okay, cool. So we paid Mag $4,000 for this, right? We like him. Mag's cool, real cool guy, right? Has a lot to say. Mag has a lot to say. Real cool guy. But this costs how much? Oh, you talking about 100? And see, all of the smaller people might look at a $30 subscription as a little bit much. When it comes to a Universal, they'll pay a $30,000 subscription per month to make sure they have that. They can pay $30,000 a month to make sure they have. It's gonna generate billions of dollars. It's over, dog.
Actually better than the stuff that you play on the Spotify countdowns. Well, it's funny. I play this song. I'm walking with my phone. I start playing it in the kitchen, and Dylan looks at me and goes, "That's AI." And I said, "What? It is AI. How do you know that?" He said, "It's got this weird sound to it." And I said, "What? Is it some high-pitched thing that I can't hear?" He goes, "No, it's something in the voice. It's so obvious." So a bunch of his buddies came over a couple days later, all 10th graders.
And I might do something like this too. That's pretty cool. I like that.
I put together a little playlist of 10 songs. 5 were AI songs and 5 were not AI songs. And I start playing them. One of them was a Jacob Collier thing that they didn't know. I start playing them, and it's funny because Dylan instantly got all the AI ones correct. And the other ones, he goes, "No, this is real." And there were songs they'd never heard. But the other kids couldn't get them for something that he can hear. So the other day, somebody sends me an email, and he's like, "I wrote this song that I think is a hit with AI." So I start playing it.
She took her favorite horse on the beach, where she couldn't hear her phone, so out of reach. Sad little girl.
I'm walking in the hall with my phone again, and Layla says, "Why are you listening to AI?" I was like, "What? How do you know that that's AI?" She's like, "Are you kidding me? You can't hear that? The echo in the voice?" It's like, there's no echo in the voice. She just has a weird sound. I said, "What is it?" And then I go over to Dylan and I ask him. He's like, "Oh my God, that is so fake." And I was like, "Wait, what?" And I play it again.
Sad little girl, you closed all the
It is like a little digital After Effect right now. Right now. You could, yeah.
doors, and now her favorite song just never comes on.
And the funny thing is, this guy writes to me, he says, "I think I wrote a hit song with AI." What do you mean you wrote a hit song? The prompt is rock, indie rock, alternative rock, regional music, melodic singer, songwriter, instrumental. Prompt, Dolly Parton, indie rock. Tears in the Sand. That was it. I guess that's the prompt. Then this
So this is the thing. This is the thing that I've been thinking about as it relates to prompts, right? Because if the company owns the platform that generates the prompt, or no, the company owns the platform that generates the product of the prompt that you wrote, technically, I would think they own it. That's my whole issue with Suno, right? Because right now, Suno is cosplaying as they're just trying to help content creators that might be in the pickle and they can't come up with some songs or they can't come up with a beat. This is supposed to be something to help inspire you to do whatever you do. That's how they're trying to spin it right now. I don't see it like that. I see it like this. They have a platform where you can go use if you get in a pickle and you're trying to figure out what to write or what type of beat to produce next. All right, cool. Where did that idea come from? Where did it originate from? Is it somebody's catalog? So now if you go in and you try to release the music that you generated with AI, I am assuming that at some point all of the publishers are going to be signed up with these AI companies. And cool, you go do what you want to do, and we're still going to take your publishing. Because you know that you use our song that we did with Beyonce back in 1998. You know you used that as the catalyst for this song. So therefore, being that you used this, you sampled it, and we own the publishing. Thank you. Give me the bag. Give me your money. Go sit down. Do better next time. That's what I foresee happening in the near future.
Metal band writes me the other day. They're a band from Belarus and said they have a new song that's an AI generated, completely AI generated thing. Now they're actually a band that has other things on Spotify, but they sent me this song.
I agree, B. Lamont. I agree.
These are all done with the same program called Udio. So Udio, and I start looking at different things, and I find this one movie score thing it's called A Handful of Dust. It's supposed to be like spaghetti western thing, and
so anyway, I think we get the point. At this right now, current day, I feel like the only way to really win with the prompts is the more detailed you are, and the more here's another issue. This is a whole nother issue that I see coming up. What happens in the event that you feed AI technology a whole life story, your personal life story? Let's say you feed Suno your life story and you say, look, Suno, and this might be something dope. I ain't gonna do it, but y'all can do it because I don't want to get sued. But let's say you feed Suno your life story and say, look, I want to talk about my life for the last 20 years, right? Or I want to talk about my life for the last 5 years. Help me write a memoir around my life. And then you start feeding it all of the content. You feed it, this happened for me when I was 6 years old. This was one of my best experiences. I remember when my mama used to do this and my dad did this and I felt like this and this. What happens? Just let's forecast for a little while. What happens if you feed all of this information to the AI and now the AI says, oh, cool, I can write you a memoir. And it writes you a 20-page memoir. You go and put that joint out, and now you get what is it called? Critically acclaimed. They say, "Oh my God, you did your thing. That joint. Oh my God. Oh, yo, you killed that. And the part about you with your dad, and this is the thing. What they always say is always a little bit of truth in every lie, right? You could tell them, yeah, I wrote this, and that, and all I did is I use AI to help organize my thoughts. That's what creative people be trying to pull it like that. I use AI to organize my thoughts. Okay, cool. Well, if you use AI to organize your thoughts, technically that's a co-writer. If that's a co-writer, that means technically the company that you use to organize your thoughts owns a piece of this book, right? They own a piece. And I'm always thinking about like this. Now, this is what I will say. I'm not saying that AI or any of the tech companies owning a piece of your intellectual property is bad. I'm not saying it's bad, but I'm saying if we overlook all of the nasty stuff that can happen along the way and all of the rights that you're selling or you're giving away while you're using these companies, ChatGPT, and I use ChatGPT every day. I use it every day. But I don't use it for specific things I feel like I should be using my brain for. I don't use it for that. I use ChatGPT for like, um, do I have any openings on my calendar? Based off of this, how could I minimize all of the loss? If we did $10,000 last month, how could we do $20,000? Can you give me a brief schedule and a brief description of what I need to do to get more products sold, or to get more coaching calls, or to pick up more food reviews, or to sell more beats? Like I use AI like this, right? Everybody else is being lazy with it. Is yo, y'all about to be in for a good one. Y'all about to be in for a good one. Let me read the chat for a little bit because of what I said. If you wanna be somebody and you wanna go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. Huh? 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 You like that, huh? Huh? I told y'all last week. Trey, I told him last week I'm gonna start singing. I got the vocals back. I ain't been smoking no Black and Miles. I ain't smoked Black and Miles in a long time. Lord, I miss my Black and Miles. No, no, no. Just erase. I said that. I didn't even say it. I didn't even say it. Erase it. Erase it. I didn't even say that. I didn't say it. Let me read the chat right quick. Sounds like we should be. Sounds like we should be creative enough to make our own AI platforms. Yep. B. Lamont says AI gives some they there she. Yo, no, you said something earlier. B. Lamont said something earlier. What you say? Why does prompt language read like when people identify their pronouns? Exactly. Exactly. AI is gonna always get a pronouns. They want to be politically correct. Trey says people are so oblivious to AI is troubling. Yo. So this is the thing. Even with that, I think this is what I think they're working on right now. You know that little pitchy sound that comes with the AI voice? What I think is happening in the background, I think what they're doing is trying to figure out ways to implement more AI into commercial music every day. Case in point, what was the dude? Not Lil Pump. It was some guy. It was some guy that Drake brought out, and I was like, that don't even sound like a real artist technically. And he blew up mad fast. He blew up mad fast. Four bats. Four bats. I was like, who is this Four Bats guy? And where did he come from? And why did Drake co-sign it? Everything Kendrick has told us over and over, he not like us. He not like us. Look, I ain't gonna front. I'm kind of glad that song is fading out a little bit. I'm kind of glad. I didn't when it first came out. I was like, oh, it was cool, right? But in the Kendrick catalog, I'm gonna say they not like us is probably one of his weakest songs. In the Kendrick catalog, yep. I'm gonna go ahead and step out there on the ledge. I think they not like us in Kendrick's catalog is one of the weakest songs that he has in his catalog. When you think about all of the other joints, and I'm only saying that because all of his other stuff has been colorful, creative. He's always had something to say. He's always gonna do that. But I think the perfect marriage is it was just good timing. It was good timing. But anyway, I'm glad it's fading out. Mustard. Hey, oh yeah, shouts out to Mustard too, yo. Shouts out to Mustard. Mustard just got the endorsement deal or the sponsorship deal with Heinz Mustard. That was a yo. Perfect. See, and this is honestly, if I would have ever just stopped doing music cold turkey, like just stop doing music, I would do more of that type of stuff. Like I love the idea of helping artists find the other companies that work with their brand, right? Like case in point, if I were doing what's the girl name? Tiger. What's the girl name? Cute little chick that she's never gonna say she's black. She's like, I'm African. I'm not black. Y'all are black. I'm not black. That girl. I think her name was Tiger. Tiger. Yeah, Tiger. I would have loved to be Tyler. Okay, thank you. I would have loved to be on her marketing team because why didn't she get no water commercials? Why she didn't get no water? They should have had that girl. She should have been the freaking Sahara. She should have been the water to the Sahara Desert. They could have dropped up. Shh, make me sweat, make me water. They should have went crazy on that. That was a marketing flaw. They missed that one. Reggie says computer love. Oh my God, I ran up computer love. Computer love would have been on every Apple commercial, every Hewlett Packard commercial. Computer love. Shh, MacBook Pro. Listen. I'm a beast at them brands now. But anyway, I got to get out of here. This has been a fun show. Hopefully y'all enjoyed me bringing it to y'all as much as I enjoyed bringing it to you. I think I said that right. And then, what else do we have? I don't think we have any bills to pay. Make sure y'all go to Jay's Deli again. Jay's Deli on Lawrenceville Highway. Tell them Magnetos haven't sent you for the Mad Lucrative podcast. Lastly, we also got the 30 for 30, the 30 for 30 social media challenge that is right now on Patreon. Also, if you want us to do some food reviews for you, make sure you hit us up at the Mad Network Ads, madnetworkads@gmail.com. We would love to come do some food reviews. We're right now in the middle of season 2. Shouts out to us. We're in the middle of season 2 doing food reviews in a whole new way. It's fire. Wait till y'all see it. But anyway, see y'all next week. Peace. All right, everybody. I'm a holler. Kristen. All right. Bye. Bye.